Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today, you know what day it is? Today was the day when we're supposed to get Guilty as Charged because it's April 6th, baby. Let's go. Alright. Anyways, so instead of giving us Guilty as Charged, it seems like it's kind of like an apology almost from Artstation, but they released a developer backwards after a while, because we had the beta, we had the surveys, people filled the surveys, and here it is. So we have the fifth developer backyards. So this thing, they haven't done one in a while, by the way. It's been a minute, right? So it's always good to have these because they answer all the questions that people have. They answer like some stuff, they give us some info on some stuff. They kind of almost tease some things that they would do in the future, things like that. So I've already read a tiny piece of this, like a very small piece, things that really were really important, that that it's freaking hit my eyes and stuff like that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at it a little bit. So we're gonna go through this. It's gonna be a long video, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna read some stuff and I'm gonna give my opinion on it. I'm gonna try my best to make it as short as possible, as always. So feel free to let me know also what you guys think in the comment section. Let's go. All right, greetings everyone. Greetings to everyone reading this installment of Developer's Backyard. This is Tano from development team at Artstation. Alright, first of all, I'd like to sincerely thank everyone who took part in the open beta. Blah 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 blah. Grateful. Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Katano, as well, for your hard work. So they say as a total from all languages. Yo, that's big. I can't even click on this, but they say as though from all languages received approximately 51,000 responses to the surveys. Holy crap! And it's not like everybody who filled up the surveys, right? It's not everybody, but it's definitely a lot of people who played the beta, and a lot of these people are also the people who pre-ordered the game already. So it's kind of nice. All right, it's kind of a good thing to know already. So that's a big sample, 51,000. So we're gonna look at that. Anyways, so which character did you use the most during the open beta? I said it, man. I said it. This is, a lot of people say, oh man, you shouldn't look at what character is popular or not. It shouldn't be affecting your choices in what character you play. But for me, it does. It does. I like to be against the popular characters. I like to defy the law. You know how it is. I like that. So, Remetal is the most popular character. She is popular in 4 regions out of what, 6? She is so popular. This character was so popular. Everybody was playing this character. Literally everybody. So, yeah, Rem was definitely the most popular character. I did play Rem a little bit, but she wasn't my main. I was mostly maining Leo, and I also put a lot of time on Chip. And by the way, I'm pretty sure Chip and what's his name? Faust. Chip and Faust are probably the least popular characters. They were probably the least popular characters in the beta, but it doesn't mean that they were bad, even though people thought Chip was bad. People thought Chip was definitely weird. It was definitely weird, but he had some stuff that was cool. Probably with diagonal alphabet. Anyways, so that was cool. Which character do you like the most in Guilty as Charged? Look at this thing. Do you see this? Nagoriyuki is also another popular character, by the way. Nagoriyuki, Giovanna, look at these. They're so popular. It's crazy. I'm glad that the new characters are also popular, by the way, because they're brand new. It would really suck if they weren't popular. And Nagoriyuki, a lot of people are really like, they're a bit on the fence on the character. Like, he's kind of good, but he's also really whack. Like, he's really like I feel like Nagoriyuki is a super 50-50 character. Like, super good, but the blood stuff really hurts him. Especially the part that was funny to me is that when I was fighting Nagoriyuki, at some point he had his like blood rage on. I grabbed him, but during the throw animation, because it was taking some time during the throw, he was still losing health. That shit was, it was crazy to me. So it's interesting that Nagoriyuki is still up right there. But you can see here also people like characters like May. You can see May right here. You can see Potemkin. Dude, Potemkin was going crazy. You can see Milia as well. So it was definitely interesting. But even characters like Zato. Zato was surprisingly popular. So I like that a lot. The results were really interesting, especially the difference between regions, indeed. So anyways, please rate the following modes. This is where things get a little bit spicy. So versus mode, really good. You know, people love it. And I feel like it's more about, I feel like what would hold the modes back would mostly be like the game itself, right? And it's not that the game is bad. I love this game a lot. I think it's pretty good, but it has some issues, and I feel like you know what, like one match is not satisfying enough for this game. So we'll see. We'll talk about this later, because they definitely talk about some things when it comes to the matches in this game. So we'll talk about that. Anyway, so tutorial, people said, like a few people said it was very good. Some people say it was good. A lot of people say it was average. So I felt that too. Personally, I think the tutorial was kind of meh, but I liked where it was going, right? So we're gonna talk about it later, because they talk about it as well. Yeah, right there, down there, we'll talk about it. So network, whew, online lobby specifically, sheesh. Whew, it's getting smoked, dude. It's getting kind of hot in here, you know. no longer chill, right? Quick match with network. It's taking a hit, and I feel like it's because there's no, you know, like rematch rematch option. So that kind of sucked. Anyways, training mode, people liked it. Good. I'm surprised no, it's not more blue than that, but it was definitely because some people wanted frame data, or some people even wanted frame advantage. Personally, I would prefer frame advantage. I think it's more easy. It's like easier to understand than frame data. Like sometimes I look at Street Fighter 5, for example. I don't understand the numbers, to be honest. I much prefer things that they do with Grand Blue, for example, with frame advantage. It's easier to understand with the colors. Anyway, so Mr. Cannon says, perhaps versus mode received a high rating due to the option to rematch without extra loading time. You know it. I didn't get as much playtime, however. Likely due to the effect of COVID-19. True. I was able to play a little bit of it with my brother, and we enjoyed it. It was really good. You know, the matches are lightning fast. Rematch again. It's like super quick, right? So that was dope. I liked it a lot, and I hope that online matches will have the same thing, and it would be a first to 3. I don't want it to be first to 2. 2 is like really lame. 3 is a lot. I like 3. You know, first to 3 is good. It's like satisfying. So tutorial mode received mixed reactions. Some praised it for the unique freedom it gives to the player as opposed to a traditional textbook style explanation. Others, however, pointed out that it lacks the explanation needed for an introduction to the game. Our intent for the tutorial mode in Guilty Gear Strive is to show the player that they can enjoy fighting games without having to study. We intentionally left out explanation of game mechanics and the different uses for each attack buttons. In our previous games, players new to the fighter genre would need to put in some practice in order to complete the tutorial. We check the result data and replays from the first floor of the rank tower. Oh, that's interesting. And saw many matches where neither player used special moves or every mechanic. We will brush up on the finer aspect of this mode, but for the most part, we felt this style of tutorial was successful. Alright, that is interesting. Like I said this I think in the video where I was filling up the survey. I like where they're going with this tutorial. To me, it was good. To me, it was good because it's not like like the way fighting games do tutorials nowadays. Like I remember I was watching somebody trying the tutorial for Dance Fighting Hurt, and they had a list, right? They had a list of mechanics, right? And you had to like do each of them. It is too much, right? I remember that. I remember also playing the tutorial for Killer Instinct, which has like 32 different sections. Dude, tutorials are good. It's important to explain the mechanics of the game. It's important to explain a lot of things that you can do in the game, right? However, the way fighting games handle tutorial, it's like super info dump. It's like a lot of shit that they throw at you on the screen. Next minute that you get out of the tutorial mode, you forgot everything. It's like ridiculous. It's important, like I said, to be able to go through this and to maybe revisit it, but it's too much, right? And this I kind of want to read what he says after this, because down there they're talking about the lobbies, but here they're talking about mission mode. I want to say something about mission mode, so we'll read what they have to say first. Also, in the finished game, the mission mode will include missions for practicing game mechanics, such as wall break and Roman cancels, combos for each characters, as well as a variety of techniques players who want to delve that deeper into the various mechanics or level up their game and look forward to that. My only issue is with this is I hope that they do a good job at, you finish the tutorial and then they let you play freely, and you finish the tutorial and then they make you go directly there. They say, hey, look right here, you have mission mode where you can learn this and that. So it gives the freedom to the player to choose to, not only they don't have to go through a long tutorial mode, but they have the freedom to choose what they want to learn. And it's kind of like a book for them, where it's like, okay, so maybe they lose a match, and like, oh man, what is this mechanic, what is this thing that this guy is using, or something like that. You go open the book, the mission mode, you're like, okay, where is that? You pinpoint that, and it's like, all right, there you go, you learned that. So I like where they're going. I like the idea of having freedom. But then again, I think it would also be nice to guide the players a little bit more, right? Overall, having the freedom to just have a fight in general in the tutorial, I feel like it's better than just pop the balloons for 10 minutes. You just bought this game, they tell you it's about heavy metal, it's cool, you have badass character like so bad guy, and then next thing you do is to pop the balloons in this really goofy ass freaking song that is Jacko's theme is playing around. It's like, yeah, cool, I guess. So even though the tutorial in Exile was good, I think that was probably the most uninteresting way to introduce a player to the game. So that's my point. Anyways, so let's go back to what Mr. Catano has to say. The online lobby is the area from the test we need the most work on, indeed, and have determined it needs to be improved before release. Even aside from the server issues, it was difficult to use and hard to understand how it worked. Although we continually work on internal improvement following last year's closed beta test, we realized that we let everyone down. Alright, so here are some of the plans we have to fix the issues. Okay, changing to a system where players select a visible area where they want to have a match. So kind of like Dragon Ball Fighters, pretty much, where you have like the ring matches. That's dope, I guess. You have a match. After winning a match, the player stays where they are in the battle ready state unless the rating changes. Oh, you mean, I think they mean when you rank up, I think. Oh, okay. So nobody moves, because that was the thing. After a match, you teleport. And they're also adding a rematch option. First to 3, please. First to 3. Expanding the area in each lobby, adding an option to hide the news display, and adding a dash movement for avatars. That's also cool. Being able to move around faster would be nice. People obviously they don't like the lobbies, they don't like how it is, how it looks and all. Me personally, I'm like, they can do whatever they want with the lobbies. That shit always looks goofy to me anyways. It doesn't matter. People like the older arcade stuff. I'm like, whatever. I'm not an arcade guy, to be honest. I didn't grow up with arcades. I grew up with fighting games at home, not with arcades, to be honest. So I guess it's kind of different, but it doesn't matter to me. I would say one thing that is important, if they really want to improve the lobbies, and this is also for Grand Blue as well, please allow us to change the music, because the music doesn't get you in the mood, to be honest. What I mean is that Exile has a better lobby because of the music. It puts you more in the mood. It's cooler. pretty much. But anyways, so they say this will make the lobbies more like those in our other games. However, systems such as moving floors when you're waiting changes and the option to enter training mode while waiting for a match will remain. So that's, yeah, I guess that's important too. We would like to conduct another beta test once these fixes are ready. Although the training mode was praised for the number of options available, players also noted that the menu was difficult to understand. We are looking into ways to improve the visibility of the menus for all modes. Please rate the following aspects: character visuals, top tier; animations, top tier; graphics, blah blah blah, everyone loves it. The thing that people didn't like the least, I would say, was the battle system. And that's because a lot of people were like they felt a bit, divided on Strive. They were like, oh, it's very different from the older game. A lot of the older players would be like, they were like, oh, for older players, it's kind of hard to adjust. It's harder for them to adjust than it is for newer players to grab the game, So it was an interesting perspective, I think. I don't know how they can handle that. A lot of people want the Gatlings back, but having the Gatlings, I feel like there would be like a lot of implications for that. Because, with the Gatlings and with the system of Strive, not just for the damage, but also for like how, juggling works, for how, pushback and all that thing works. I feel like there would be a lot of like conflicts within the systems of the game. That's how I feel. Especially because if you have Gatlings, you kind of want to have also air combos, and because of with air combos and then with the wall break and all that thing, I feel like a lot of things would be it would feel, like what people say that they call Guilty Gear Light. Some people who don't like Strive would say that Strive is like Guilty Gear Light, but I feel like with adding Gatlings to this game and with these systems, it would definitely feel more like Guilty Gear Light than Guilty Gear Strive, which is a more different game than the other Guilty Gears, but it still has the same Guilty Gear, I would say, flavor in general, right? So I'm not really a fan of the Gatlings, but I'm also thinking that there are things that they can improve. But we'll talk about this down there, right? Aside of that, they say soundtrack. I think the soundtrack was really good. There's some people who think that the soundtrack is not that good, but I think it's pretty freaking good, to be honest. Sound effects are dope. Counter, I love it. Hopefully we can change the announcer too. That would be nice to hear other characters say that as well. Especially, I feel like Soul in Exile had the best voice lines. He was very good as an announcer. Anyways, voices. My only issue with voices is that they are too low. That's it. Next, let's discuss the battle system. Ooh, this is where it becomes juicy. This was my favorite part. When I was like checking the thing, this was my favorite part. So they talk about a lot of good shit. A lot of them. And some of them make me smile. Some of them, I kind of scratch my head a little bit, But we'll get through this. Anyways, so answers on this topic had the most variation depending on what other games players have experience with in their region. Interesting. That's an interesting thing to say, actually, about how people responded to that. Let's take a look at some of the most frequently mentioned key phrases from everyone's answer. So, damage is too high. Many players commented that the damage is way too high. There was also many concern that it's not just a problem with the game's balance, but also it takes away the fun of pulling off damaging combos. After hearing your feedback, we plan to adjust the damage so that it is more suitable for how often and how difficult it is to land each attack. In general, however, the damage will remain high as it is part of Guilty Gear Strive's design. It could be said that part of the appeal of Guilty Gear series is the tension. Wait, hold on a minute. Is this? Yeah, it's the tension and exhilaration felt during the fast-paced matches. In previous titles, however, the player could only experience this after practicing and learning complicated combos. The length of the average combo is much shorter in Guilty Gear Strive, so that more players than before can experience this. This is why the overall damage is set high, including for single hits. There are also other elements influenced by this direction, such as our reconsideration of the frequency of combos in general. Oh, that's also a thing that was important, but we're gonna talk about it later. We've analyzed many replays from the beta test, and we feel the game mechanics are overall successful. We are adjusting the game so that simple combos and situational combos have each their own merits, not limited to damage, but also in terms of meter efficiency and the situation you're in after the combo. Big brain stuff, right? I guess they will always look at that even when the game will release. It's the type of thing that will always be looked at, and it's kind of sometimes it's kind of like character dependent, right? But it's not just about the combos. The damage is really high indeed, but this is also one of the parts why I don't think Gatlings are that important for this game. Normals in this game are super good. They're super good. They're super individual. Some people say that the Gatling system is better. Like the older Gatling system would be better because, you know, it's more beginner friendly, but I don't think that's true at all, because I think beginners in fighting games, they don't press buttons in a sequence. Beginners don't just mash the head on the freaking controller and something happens. So they do mash, but they mash generally 1 or 2 buttons. And in fact, I've played Exert with some people who didn't play Exert before, and without even playing Strive, right? Without having anything to know about Guilty Gear, the favorite buttons were definitely slash and heavy slash. And they were playing Dizzy. I remember they were playing Dizzy. It was just slash and heavy slash the whole time that they were pressing, nothing else. So they don't press buttons in sequences. They just press 1 or 2 buttons and they rely on it. It's like the only option that they feel like it's like a good button. They try to find a good, reliable button instead of just pressing buttons in a sequence. So that's why I think the old Gatling system is not as good for beginners, while this system is much better because it's easier to recognize the good buttons in this game, right? But anyways, we're talking about the damage here. So like I said, the damage is high indeed. It is definitely high for this game, and that's why normals in this game are also really good. But there's definitely some cases of damage I really don't agree with. Like the throws are very weird in this game. Sometimes they're really strong, like they can grab you from really far away, and sometimes when you're in the air specifically, they miss. They miss a lot. It's really weird. Like the throws are not really well balanced, I feel like, and they still have to work on that. And they do a lot of damage, dude. Throws do so much damage. It's kind of crazy. I feel like you can kill someone in like 5 throws or something. So maybe they can. And I'm not talking about command throws, right? I'm not talking about wipe throw. I'm talking about the regular throw. It does so much damage. It's kind of crazy. So I hope they can like tone that down a little bit. I guess they just have to look into it until things are more enjoyable. Me, I didn't have too many issues, but I definitely felt that. I just trust our system on fixing this issue. I don't really have too many ideas on this. So second is this one made me smile. It made me big smile. I'm interested in this one. I want to see how they do this, but I don't think they'll do the way I think they will do it, but I think they'll do something about this. So which is about the Roman cancels, right? Oh, and by the way, for the damage, in the interview that they had in that event where they showed, like, you know, what's the name, Ino and Angie, I think they said they will increase the damage on the supers, but I think that's mostly for scaling, you know, meet combo. That's why they talk about combo in here as well. So we'll see. So anyways, Roman cancels are interesting, but I felt limited by meter usage. I had this on my mind for a couple of weeks now. I was thinking, you know, what if we have 25 meter options in Guilty Gear Strive? It would be dope, right? But you know, you never know with these things. Anyways, so they say fans of the previous Guilty Gear games in particular had positive things to say about Roman cancels. At the same time, many mentioned feeling restricted because the round would finish before they could use Roman cancels how they would like. Taking this into consideration, we considered the general rules surrounding meter gain We didn't simply increase the meter gain rate, but you should be able to use your meter more freely overall. What does that mean? Hey, come on, man. You know, 25 meter, 20. I'm just rubbing my hands. 25 meter options. You know. Come on. Imagine this game with 25 meter options. Like, you can have pretty much every Roman cancel at 25 meter would be cool, right? Would be cool, but you know the dead angle, you know, the yellow Roman cancel in this game would probably be 50 still. I think that would be, dude. I think that would be good. I think that would be really interesting. I think it would be super nice to have the ability to use more stuff with Roman cancel. If they give us 25 minute option, this game will go crazy. It will go so crazy, and I think it will also improve. It will also be like an indirect buff to some characters. So like Giovanna, for example, she doesn't get to use her what's the name? She doesn't get to use like her installs, not really installs, but her buff. She doesn't get to use it that much. But with like 25 minute options, it's kind of taming it down. So if she has like 100%, she can go to like 75% instead of going to directly 50%. You know, it's like she doesn't lose her buffs above just like that, just by using RC. You know, that's kind of unfortunate when that happens, but we will see what happens. I just hope we have 25 minute option, dude. That's all I want. That's really all I want. Yeah, so jumping is too strong. Indeed, many players felt that the neutral game was lacking due to the grounded anti-airs being too weak, while aerial options were too strong, making jumping a common choice. I didn't read that, by the way. I didn't read this part. I wanted to keep it for the video. We also determined that this needed improvement and have made some significant changes. I can explain each individual changes here, but this one point will be a very noticeable difference from the open beta. Bro, can we have the second beta already, dude? I kind of want to play. Get rid of the infinites. No, come on. Let me have the infinites in. I think. Oh, man, I guess we cannot have the infinites in the game, but whatever. Some characters had access to infinite combos. In addition, there were notable instances of overly simple combo structures. That is true. Like Solve, you do like the 5k into Nitrate Vortex, 5k Nitrate Vortex. That shit was it was kind of funny, but come on, man, let us have it. We're planning to deal with this by adjusting the game's mechanic in addition to the character balance, so that these combos don't end up as the most viable option. Oh, come on, let us have it. For example, hitting an opponent with the same move more than a set number of times will make them float less. Okay, fair enough, I guess. This set number would be different depending on the move. We don't want to completely get rid of all loop combos, so we choose to increase the ways we can balance the game. So they are not totally against it, which is nice. I'm a fan. To be honest, I'm a fan of this, but you know, they have to get rid of some stuff, but it's okay. They're not totally against it. They kind of want to keep it in, but not too much. They don't want it to be like a total infinite, right? Just some loops would stay around. That's cool. Please rate the comfort of the online battles. Woo! Come on, man. You did not play online? What is morons? Oh, maybe some of them are the jokes. Ah, no, I didn't play online. I was offline. Come on, man. Maybe. Who knows? But whatever. The rollback netcode was highly praised, and we saw many matches between different countries and regions. Thank you for seeing that. However, in some instances, matches could become quite unstable, sometimes becoming incredibly slowed down. We will be working on adjustments and improvements as the game's release approach. To get a bit deeper on this topic, during the test we had the input delay fixed at 1 frame. Perhaps due to the experience with the previous GG game, some players confused the rollback frames displayed for the input delay. However, the input delay was logged at 1 frame. As mentioned as the previous backyard, we're still looking into whether we should allow the player to set the input delay based on the network connection and how to handle filtering network connection strain. We are hoping to conduct another beta test after fixing the bugs and improving the game systems. So we are planning to make these decisions after looking at the results of from that test. Interesting. So in XX plus R, you can adjust it. You can adjust the rollback frames. I didn't play too much with that feature, to be honest. I just know that the connection is good, or it's fine mostly. But for the people who really care for that, it's really important for them to be able to adjust it. I definitely heard of that a lot, that people wanted to have the option to adjust it, and I was hoping that the open beta would have that option, but it didn't. It was just set. So at least it's good that they're thinking about opening that up for the people who actually want to be able to adjust it. So we'll see how they can fix that. But the rollback overall is very solid. Definitely, it's probably one of the best. So about the second open beta test. Wow, they're talking about this. That's crazy. We're playing on the second open beta test based on the players' feedback. The timing has yet to be determined, so please keep an eye on our future updates. Okay, so that's all for our volume 5. Already know. Thank you for reading to the end. We've received many kind comments. Blah 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 blah. Yes, our team is working hard to make sure this just try to live up to the expectation. Please look forward to its release on June 11. Is it really gonna release on June 11, man? I feel like we've been debated all day, dude. It was supposed to come out in 2020, and then it was like, no, it's supposed to come out in 2021. It keeps getting delayed, man. I just hope that the June 11 is actually the final day. It has to be, because it's gonna be Evo like 2 months after that, right? So we're gonna see. We'll see how things will go. We're currently accepting submissions for topics you'd like for us to discuss in the future development backyard, as well as questions and comments via form below. So alright, so that's pretty much it. I have my own things I want to talk about, things like DLCs that I really care about, but maybe they don't want to talk about it, but I'll still talk about it, to be honest. Things like the UI as well that I want to talk about. Like I really need to be able to put the tension gauge next to the health gauge. Like, it's definitely something I want. I have an issue if I'm not able to do that, but that's just me, right? Who cares? Whatever. So cool stuff, cool developers, backyard as always. We always like these things. I'll try to cut the video as much as I can, but yeah, anyways. So thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did enjoy this. Let me know what you think in the comment section, because it's definitely important. This is like important matter. And let me know maybe if you agree with some of the things that I said. When it comes to things like the 25-meter option, that I like to go crazy. I like that. So we'll see. So yeah, let me know what you think. Hope you enjoy. I'll see you next time.